Good evening. I'm standing on the Mera Festival 2008, and it's a pleasure to have an interview with Front 242. Front 242 being a band with such a long history, how is the feeling to play a festival after such a long history of your band, and now being the headliner of such a show?
I can assure you that still after all those years, almost 28 years, it's still the same pleasure. Actually, I think that the pleasure is even bigger now. Because of the experience, we lost all the bad parts of being on stage, the stress, the technical problems, all that is solved. So we feel very comfortable on stage, and it's much more easier to enjoy the fact of being in front of an audience and play your music. So it's still a pleasure. Being headline doesn't really matter. What's important for the band is not when we play on stage, but that the condition to play is the best. That we can have a light show, the screen, the projection and all that, and a good PA sound system. So being headline for me, it's cool, of course. It's like a payback for all those years we've been working. So, but the pleasure is still the same.
When you see all the fans of electronic EBM and other electronic kinds of music that are listening to contemporary bands, how do you see the development of these new bands over all these years as being one of the forefathers of these electronic styles?
To be honest, I think that EBM and industrial music is a bit turning around. I think that all the new emerged bands are doing the same kind of stuff we were doing 15 or 20 years ago. Somewhere it's a shame because there's so much opportunity with electronic. So to be honest, I personally don't listen to a lot of those bands. I'm more into electronic band producing dance, electronic music, or the new generation of French artists like Justice and all that. And even there, I mean, it's interesting in terms of sound and production, but there's nothing new. So I must say that I'm waiting for something new to come out of that scene.
Yeah. When you produce music nowadays, do you still keep sticking to older style synthesizers and older style technology, or do you let yourself be inspired by new technologies as well and use modern styles of production techniques?
Right now with 242 we don't produce much new material, but we try to renew the show all the time, and we decided 2 years ago to go back to the origin of the band and to go back to the vintage sounds from the old synthesizers we had. So we still use the technology of today, because of course we're not going to record tracks on a 4-track recorder, for example. Of course everything is digital, but the instrument, the tools we're using to produce the sound is probably right now, in fact, based on vintage sounds. To try to give a new definition to the vintage sound, and it's nice to be able to do that with the technology of today because it's much more easier.
So, what's in the future for Front 242? Do you expect to keep appearing rather regularly live? Or is there actually plans of maybe even releasing new material?
We are in a position now where we can do what we want whenever we want. We don't have a record deal with any record company. We have almost 30 years of history. We just take things as they come. So we may do a new album next year or in 5 years. We have no plan. We just, as long as we feel comfortable with what we do, as long as we can produce what we like, that what we produce is efficient, that there's something strong with an energy and stuff, we will do it. Which means that next year we can probably do 5 shows or 50 shows. It's all depending also the demands of the promoters, the audience. So we let things come to us and then we decide what we do. It's very comfortable. The main career of the band is behind us. We know that. Now we have a name, we have a reputation. We just try to keep that reputation on a high level and try to produce the best show we can. And as long as we can do that, we will keep on doing it.
Brilliant. So thank you very much for your time, and I wish all the best for the show tonight. And
thank you very much.
I'm really happy to see you.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good night.